9,
8. Come on.
7, 6,
Count down with me,
5,
folks.
4,
3, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4.
0. Ignition.
That's how kids count their age. I'm 2.5.
Liftoff.
I'm 3 3/4. Here we go, folks. Hold on to your hats. We are off. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready
For the ride of your life.
The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio.
It's a show with no name.
Let's go.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one. Welcome all to an exciting extravaganza. It's called The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. And I hope you guys brought your A game. Que venís listos. Habéis traído vuestro juego de primera. Piénsalo. I hope you brought your A game today because we're going to play. I'm going to challenge you. We're going to have tons of fun. As we do on all the Vaughn Radio programs. Don't forget, guys, we've got amazing programs all day long. All you have to do is download our free app and you can learn English wherever, whenever. We're meant to learn together. I'll be here and you'll be there. All right. Sorry. If it starts to rain, don't blame me, folks. Just trying to teach you some English with a little bit of music. Welcome back from yesterday. Welcome back from the summer. Those of you who didn't join us yesterday, you couldn't. We got so many comments yesterday, both on the show and after the show, and I think it is great to be back, amigos. I think I speak on behalf of all of us here at Vaughn Radio. It's great to be back. Hey there, it's Alberto Alonso, the host of The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio, and I just want to welcome you back to the grind, la vuelta al cole. But it doesn't have to be boring. It can be tons of fun, divertidísimo. At Vaughn, we believe learning must be fun. It must be exciting and also dynamic. We've got Vaughn centers all over Spain. You can visit our offices in Santander, Bilbao, Zaragoza, Valladolid, Valencia, Vigo, Barcelona, and, of course, in Madrid. Stop by. We'd love to meet you. You can also stop by our website, grupovaughn.com, or give us a call, 911-385831. Again, that's 911-385831. And feel free to stop by our website for more information. It's grupovaughn.com. So on behalf of all my amigos, let me welcome you back. We missed you. Now let's get back to work. That's right. Let's get back to work. We missed you. I know I can speak on behalf of all of us, and it's great to be back. And amigos, guess what? I've got some news for you here. Oh, yeah, some wonderful news. Mark your calendars, folks. October 1st, 4th, October 4th, our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights are back, baby. And the first one on October 4th, they're Wednesdays, by the way. Usually it's the first Wednesday of each month. It's at Roll Madrid. And we've got my buddy, Kyle Miller. Kyle Miller, who's hosting the first Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. So mark your calendars if you live in Madrid. If you don't and you can get here, it's going to be tons of fun, and it's free. I was trying to say fun and free at the same time. Can't do it. So, well, you could say it's fun. It means it's free and fun. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, October 4th, first time back since the summer break, and it'll be hosted by my good friend from Canada, Kyle Miller. Kyle Miller will be hosting the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Don't miss it. And then, November 1st, guess who's hosting? All Saints Day, Dia de Todos los Santos. I think it's even a holiday. Is that a holiday? Well, guys, I'm hosting November 1st. How exciting. So you've got 2 trivia nights coming up October 4th. It's a Wednesday. It's at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. It's a great place. American food, cold, yummy beer. I don't want to start talking about beer and food yet. It's too early. But we'll see you there. It's 8 p.m. It's October 4th, hosted by Kyle Miller, and November 1st, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. Yeah, amigos. Also, a quick reminder, we've got centers in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, and of course, Madrid. Now, if you're not in one of those cities, don't fret. Don't fret is another way of saying don't worry. Why? Well, because we've got a website, and you can get everything you need at our website, grupovaughn.com. That's right, grupovaughn.com. And if you're looking for materials, that's vaughntienda.com. Either way, follow us on social media, and this way you'll get additional content with all the different programs. Yeah, it's Vaughn Radio, and we're back. Our trivia nights are back as well. And as many of you know, today is a very, very special day. As I always tell my daughter, it's my favorite day ever. And that's September 12th, the day I became a daddy. Come on. Here's a birthday song. I promise it's not too long.
Happy birthday, Laura. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Laura. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Laura, happy B-Day.
Happy birthday, Laura. Oh, yeah.
Feliz cumpleaños, Lara. Yeah, come on. My dog says,
To you, Laura.
my dog says,
Laura,
it's your birthday.
Laura. Happy birthday, Laura. Feliz
Cumpleaños, Lara. Yeah. All right, folks, it's my daughter's birthday. I don't want to get choked up. No me quiero emocionar. So let's go right into question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, amigos. Question of the week. Question of the week is the section where we hear from you guys. Now, let me be clear, because I got somebody sent me an audio note to Instagram. I'm just going to tell you, because I did it once, but I don't remember how to do it. Follow the instructions. Very, very important, or else it's going to make a lot of extra work for me. And please don't do that. Please, I don't want extra work. So If you'd like to participate and answer our question of the week, which we just brought back, a way to give you guys a voice here on the show, well, you can participate every Friday. Now, remember this, you've got to participate before Friday. So send me a 1-minute audio note to this address, alonso@grupovon.com. It doesn't matter what format the file is in, I can change that. But if you send them to me on Instagram, Facebook, and, email, my personal email address, it's going to be a mess. Primero, no sé ni sacarlo de ahí. I don't know how to extract the audio file. And secondly, it's going to be a mess. So for the sake of organization, send me a 1-minute message to my email, which is alonso@grupovon.com. And this week's question of the week, which we'll look at on Friday, we're going to hear from all of you guys, is what is something you would change about yourself? Okay, algo que cambiarías de ti mismo, right? And then the second part of the question is, why don't you start today? Especially if it's a gradual change, because most change doesn't happen in 1 second, right? It's a process, as we know. So what are you waiting for is the second part of the question. All right, amigos, I'd love to hear from each and every one of you guys. And I see, speaking of hearing from each and every one of you guys, I've got a lot of people participating in the comments. So let's kick off with today's pop quiz. Come on. Quiz. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. I want to hear you. Pop quiz. Sing it with me, guys. Sing along. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on, baby. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And folks, I've got to tell you, this one, I think it's going to be pretty easy. But either way, we're going to take a look at the structure because it's a confusing structure. It's pretty confusing because it's a verb, but it has 2 parts. And I'm talking about el haber, había, habría, right? That H, el haber, not haber. A ver, ¿qué dices, right? Esto es H-A-B-E-R en español, el haber. And again, it's 1 word in Spanish, but it's 2. So it's easy when it's there is, there was, maybe, but there will be. Does there have to be? Tiene que haber. So it can really get complicated. I've seen this verb get quite complicated. So this comes from my buddy Kyle Miller, who is hosting the trivia night on the 4th at Roll Madrid. And he says, ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? This is a question, a translation he looked at on his popular program, Drive Time, which you can listen to every day, luckily here on Vaughn Radio. So here we go. This is el haber. Vamos a ver si controláis el haber. All right. Well, at least I know the difference. I know some people who don't know the difference, right? Between I and I. Hay tantos y ay Dios, right? So that kind of stuff. I know it. I know the difference. It took me a while, but I've got it under control. Let's see if you guys have got it under control in English. Había libros tirados por todas partes. Hey, wait, that's like my studio. Aquí en el estudio tengo libros por todas partes. Son libros de Vaughan, by the way. So, había libros tirados por todas partes. That is your translation. It comes from the popular show Drive Time, hosted by my buddy Kyle Miller. Miller the Driller, they call him. And the driller, because he's like a drill sergeant, right? What you do is when you're in class with us, we do drills. Okay, ask him this. Now ask him this. Now this is a drill, un ejercicio. In fact, un simulacro de fuego, de incendio, is called a fire drill. And drill is also zzz, un taladro. That's a pretty rich word. Y la expresión, you know the drill. Tú sabes cómo va esto. Well, you know what we're missing? Just a little thing. I think it's there it is. There it is. It's a beat. Nice. All right, let's check in with our show with no namers and see what you guys are up to. You've got your pop quiz. Había libros tirados por todas partes. All right, let's see who's in the house. We've got Born to Iron Man checking in, and he says, hey, morning, folks. Morning to you too, buddy. Chris Valrol says, morning, Alberto and mates. Whose birthday is it? Or whose birthday is today? That works. It is Lara's birthday. That's right, my sweetheart, my baby, my love. We celebrated on Sunday with her family, and we're celebrating today as a family, just, the three of us. And then on Friday, she's got another party. And then on the 22nd, she's got another party. She's got a lot of groups of friends. She is a socialite. Oh, yeah. A social butterfly, as we say. A socialite is usually like somebody with a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. So she's more like a social butterfly. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. I told her, I said, Daddy's going to celebrate your birthday on the radio today. And she says, oh, cool. Laura, there's Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. I won't be able to join you live today, but I didn't want to miss the chance to wish Lara a wonderful birthday. Tanti auguri, bella Lara. Have fun and enjoy your birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Born to Iron Man 2 says, happy birthday, little Lara. Thank you. Marisol says, morning. Happy birthday, Lara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, she's feeling the love. She's in school right now, but she's feeling the love. There's her aunt, my sister, Natalia. What's up, Natalia? And she says, happy birthday, beautiful. Well, you'll be seeing her soon. Couple weeks, you'll be in Madrid. Nihad says, good morning, Mr. Alberto and friends. Happy birthday, Lara. Cumpleaños feliz. Thank you. Thank you, Nihad. German says, happy birthday, Lara. Thank you. Wow, lots of birthday love for my love. Kubla says, how's it hanging, adorable crowd? Let's keep our eyes peeled, and many happy returns to Miss Lara Alonso. That's right. German says, it's great to be back, double A. Well, it's great to have you back. Absolutely. Ha vuelto arriba de los comentarios otra vez. I don't know what happened there. All right, let's see. Where are we? Leonardo, there he is. Leo says, I wish Lara a great B-Day full of joy and loved ones. May this birthday be just the beginning of an amazing year. And above all, be good to your parents. I love that wish there. And allow your daddy to have time to do the show with no name. Well, it's weird, Leo, because, a lot of times I'm like, Lara, Papi has to work now, or Papi has to do this or whatever. And it's incredible because, like, when I looked at the video this morning of her as a little baby, I don't ever want to say no, like, because she's growing up so fast. So I never, Papi, can you pick me up? Even though she's not really light, she's a big kid. But I don't want to miss an opportunity, because sooner or later, parents with older kids, you'll know this, your kids turn their backs on you. No, I don't think it's because they don't like you or you're the worst parents in the world. I think it's just a natural thing. Kids are in the nest Then they got to, find their own wings. They got to learn to fly on their own. And then they like to, then they have to go away to appreciate it, I feel like. Like that happened in my case. When I lived at home, I was like, oh, man, get me out of here. But sure, when I, started making my own life and going about my business, well, I started to miss those moments with my family. So I'll quote Cinderella. I love this song. It's a great expression. And there's a group called Cinderella. Excellent group. And the song goes like this. Don't know what you got till it's gone. I never know what I did. It's just this song. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I don't remember them, but the lyrics are real simple. The name of the song is Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. So, you got a little baby and you're like, oh man, it's hard to raise a baby. But then when they're not babies anymore, you're like, why can't you be a baby? And so I always tell her jokingly, I say, Lara, stop growing up so fast, please. Let me enjoy this a little more. It also reminds me of another song, Aerosmith. And I don't want to miss a thing. No me quiero perder nada. I told you guys I was going to get choked up. I told you it was going to happen. To get choked up, emocionarse. All right, let's see. We've got some people participating in our pop quiz. And Kubla says there were books strewn out everywhere. All right, good word. Strewn out. Also, we say strewn about as well. Strewn about or strewn out. Great one, Kubla. Wonderful. Let's see. Nihad says there were thrown books everywhere. Well, that's interesting because in that case, it means that people threw them there. So I would say there were books thrown everywhere. So I would just change the order a little bit. Okay, there were books thrown everywhere. All right, let's see. What else? Got a couple people participating. Born to Iron Man says there were books in a mess everywhere. Okay, it's un poco forzado there. But it works. It's a little, I wouldn't say it naturally, but it makes sense. German says there were books laying around everywhere. All right, folks. There we go. Laying around, strewn about, right? Chris Valrol says there were books thrown everywhere. German says there were books lying around everywhere. Excellent. Awesome stuff. All right. There were books everywhere. There were books strewn about, thrown about. Excellent job, guys. Wonderful. David says, hello, Alberto. Hello, David. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome. Vero, there's Vero. She says, morning beautiful show with no namers / no digo el guitarrista de Guns N' Roses. Bueno, sí, también, pero / is barra. And to slash something is to cut it. Does that make sense? Think of Zorro. He slashes that Z. So it makes sense that that's called a slash. And the other one? Well, that's called a backslash. So morning beautiful show with no namers / warriors around the universe. Happy birthday, Lil Lara. We all love you, baby. Yeah, well, that's what I tell her. I say, okay, in your circle, you've got a lot of people who love you, babe. Lots and lots of people who love you. But then I told her there are a bunch of people who love you who you've never met. And she said, what? I said, yeah, there are a bunch of people out there in this world who love you, adore you, and you've never seen their faces. And it's something that's hard for her. She was like, but I don't understand. How do they know who I am? And then I said, you're like a little mini celebrity in your own right. In your own right. A tu manera. In your own right. All right, well, amigos, I'm seeing we have to take a quick commercial break right now. But great job in the first part of the show. When we come back, we've got our Say What soundbite. We've got spelling bees. We've got homophones. We've got a little bit of everything. And most of all, we're going to have some fun. We're going to learn some English, and we're going to laugh and play together. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with No Name on Vaughn Radio, where you can learn English all day, every day, for free. That's right, free. You heard it. Now, if you're looking for a little more, you can go on over to our bookshop, our online bookshop. It's called Vaughn Tienda. If you can't make it in person, you can go to vaughntienda.com and you can check out all our amazing materials. I like to call them resources. Well, the important thing is, no matter what you're looking for, maybe you need to work on your pronunciation. Maybe it's phrasal verbs. Maybe you just want to go back to basics, like Tosh Pasqua and her show. Maybe that's what you're looking for. You're like, you know what? I just need to go over the basics again. The bare bones, como decimos, lo básico. Well, we've got something for everyone. And all our materials come with audio as well. So, that's pretty cool. And my latest book, this book is the shit. It has audio and video. So it's so much more than just a book. Somebody posted something the other day, a story. I shared it on Instagram. I always tell you guys, if you share a story or a tweet listening to the show or reading one of my books, I will share it as well. And somebody shared it the other day. I can't remember your name. My apologies. But one of my students shared on Instagram a story with I have 5 books, but with all 3 books from the trilogy. And it was beautiful to see them all there together. It was just, they belong together. And for me, that moment was just the shit.
Alberto, viene Tom Cruise al hormiguero y tengo que decirle una cosa. Tengo que decirle, vamos al lío. ¿Cómo se lo digo?
Vamos al lío, tío. Eso es facilísimo. Piensa en la canción de DJ Tiesto. Let's get down
to business.
Give me
One more time together.
Let's get down
to business. Let's get down to business. Ah, lo sabía, pero no sabía que lo sabía. Aprende inglés con canciones, películas, videojuegos, series. Personajes, onomatopeyas, todas las cosas que te rodean están en inglés, pero no te das cuenta de que ya las tienes en la cabeza. Solamente hay que colocarlas. Y para eso, utiliza nuestro tercer libro, This Book is the Shit, por Alberto Alonso
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Oh, yeah. Eso es. Este libro es la sábana. Well, that's what Damián just said. He said this book is the sheet. Bueno, le corregí nada más terminarlo. I was like, ¿cómo que sheet? So it's This Book is the Shit. It's available now at Von Tienda. Oh, and speaking of the shit, from time to time, I record little audio clips of my daughter. Sometimes it's conscious, like she's helping me on purpose, where I'm like, Lara, can you come in the studio and record with me? And she said, yeah. But other times she's just talking on the sofa or in the garden or whatever. And I'm like, say that again. And the other day she said something that was so funny. I think I told you guys about it, but I think it's better to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, directamente de la fuente.
Lara, you were telling me about your friend. What's her name?
Mine in English.
Mine in English. Well, what's her name in Spanish?
Mia.
Ah, and what did you ask me?
And
Is her name mine in English, you said?
yeah,
What did you ask me?
her name is mine in English.
You're very funny.
Yeah, there you go, folks. She has a friend named Mia, and the other day she's like, my friend mine, and my wife is trying to tell her we don't possess our friends. You know, she didn't get it. She was like, no, nobody is ours. We don't own people, right? We're not slaves to any, right? Those days are done. You know, so she said, and she's like, no, her name is mine in English. And of course, her name is Mia. And she's right. She is not wrong. I'll tell you that. Well, folks, let's move on, though, because it's time for Say What? Say what? What? Say what soundbite? Say what soundbite? On the show with no name. Say what soundbite? On the show with no name. All right, amigos. All right. We're going to hear a famous person speaking now. We'll hear this a total of 4 times on today's show. So that means you'll have 4 chances, 4 tries to write this down, word for word. Textualmente, word for word. Initially, I just want you to tell me what you heard, but in your own words and in your best English possible. Remember, this is English class. If you don't use your best English here, what are you waiting for? All right, amigos? The Say What soundbite. So you know how it works. Grab a pen, grab a notebook, and get ready to jot this down. Okay, is everybody ready? Here we go with today's Say What soundbite for the first time.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not.
All right. Sounds like Darth Vader, if you ask me. Whoa! You want to talk about a deep voice? Probably one of the deepest voices I've ever heard in my life. All right, but that's just my opinion. I want your opinion. I want you guys to tell me what you heard in your best English. Remember, a sentence or two is enough. We don't want to get it shouldn't be longer than the actual text, right? So you want to practice being concise. It's a guy from Brooklyn talking about his mother's second relationship with the plumber. I don't know. Second, wow. Really? She goes through a lot of plumbers. Fontaneros. All right, guys, this is the Say What soundbite for the second time. Pay close attention and write down what you hear.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not.
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. That is your Say What soundbite over there. See if we recognize also where the person is from. See if you can place the accent. And I don't think it's that tough to understand. I mean, sometimes when we've got some people from, even the other day, Richard Ashcroft yesterday from The Verve, you heard he said, what did he say? He said, he goes, my father, that's my father. Yeah. Okay. I have a friend from London, and we always tease him because we always ask him, mate, can I borrow your Grand Theft Auto free? You want it for free? No, free, Grand Theft Auto free. I would say Grand Theft Auto 3. Ok, ahora lo digo a la velocidad normal. Grand Theft Auto 3. He says Grand Theft Auto free. I'm like, it doesn't even sound like the same word. And he's from London, mate. So he's got that clicky. That's what I always hear. When I hear people from like East London, all I hear is, it sounds like somebody's like, like you're having a bad connection on the phone there. It's like, hey, mate, a bottle of water is what I want, a bottle of water. Like, could you try saying it without the weird glottal stops? I shouldn't talk. Americans love our glottal stops. What is a glottal stop? Are you certain there's a fountain in the mountain? That's that sound. All right, let's see what you guys came up with in our Say What soundbite. We'll see what you guys heard. The first person to participate is Kubla, and he says, it's an American manly voiced man commenting on a turning point in his life when he was 16. He goes on to discuss some existentialist ideas. All right. Nice job, Kubla. Spot on. He said something about being 16 years old, and there was definitely some existentialism going on over there. All right. Anybody else care to participate? If not, we've got to move on. You know how this works, folks. Going once, going twice, going 3 times, sold to the man in the back. Oh, wait, this is not an auction. This is a spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our spelling bee only on the show with no name. And as always, this is where we look at a list usually of 6 things, and you guys have to spell these things. Now, they usually have a common thread, something that links them all together. If you can guess that, great. But it's not the most important part here. The most important part is being able to take dictation. All right, quickly, we've got Leo participating in the Say What soundbite. Let's see. He says, a Black American, although, careful with although, te falta una G, although I think you can call him white. I'll tell you what, Leo has just shown me that he knows who it is without being obvious. So good job there. I love it. Being a bit cryptic. He says, so a Black American, although I think you can call him white, in an interview, comments that he has made himself and that at the age of 16, he underwent an important change in his life. All right. Great job, Leo. Oh, wait. Leo's got more. Hang on. We're not done here. In which it seems that he realized that humans are the ones who decide what happens to the rest of the living beings on the planet. Just be careful with that preposition. The preposition is on the planet. All right. Well, excellent job, fellas. Good. We've made some progress over there. We have made some progress. All right, but we've got to move into our spelling bee, probably one of the most challenging sections on the show every day. This is round 1. Are you guys ready? These are names, people's names, so they'll be capitalized, first name and last name, just like yours. The first person is Lorne space Greene. The second one is Pernell space Roberts. The third one, Dan space Blocké. The next one is Michael space Landon. The next one is space Williams. Let me give you that one again. It's GUY space WILLIAMS. And the last one is DAVID space CANARY. I know I went really fast, but I have a feeling that somebody is going to figure this one out. I don't know who, but somebody is going to get this today. I don't know. I just have a hunch. Oh, wait. What's going on? Don't shoot. Don't, guys, duck. I gotcha. Agachaos. Duck. Sí, también es pato. What did you think? I was calling you a duck? All right. Wow. I got to go faster, it seems here. All right, let's take a look. Born to Iron Man, taking a stab at it. And Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is incorrect. Nice try. Buen intento. All right, let's see. Kubla's taking a stab at it. Kubla, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. And the third one is incorrect. All right, well, guys, I guess it's a good thing we have a second chance here because this seemed a little bit difficult. All right. And the rest of them, guys, look good. So both of you made a mistake in the same name, but a different part of the name. Does that make sense? So I guess that one was the doozy. The doozy is the one that's tricky. The one that, that's a doozy. Uno que tiene truquillo. D-O-O-Z-Y. Great word, doozy. A veces lo decimos también cuando alguien se cae, when somebody's walking down the stairs and they kind of trip, they trip in English. I always confuse those words in Spanish. And so somebody, oh, watch that last step. It's a doozy. Cuidado con ese último escalón. Tiene truquillo, ¿no? Es especial. All right. So nobody got it, guys. We've got people who are close, but no cigar. Como va la expresión, close, but no cigar. All right. Well, let me give you the second round of today's Spelling Bee. This time I will be really nice. Me voy a portar muy bien. Okay, here we go, my amigos. The first one is Lorne space Greene. See, that's nice. And I even take pauses. The second one is Pernell space Roberts. The third one, this one seemed to give you guys some difficulty here. Dan space Blocke. The next one is Michael space Landon. The fifth one, you'll recognize, Vaughn Radio listeners, Guy space Williams. And the last one is David space Canary. All right. Wow. Difficult one today. And that first round gave people problems. And who are these people? Well, these are all actors who were on the show Bonanza. Now, I don't remember Bonanza, but it was a Western TV series that ran from 1959, estar en emisión is to run in este caso, that ran on NBC in the United States from 1959 to 1973. It lasted 14 seasons, 431 episodes. It is the second longest running Western series on U.S. TV networks. Number one, Gunsmoke, which was another Western one. So as we can see, Westerns were really popular. But this, it was before my time, but I know it was huge. I remember people even talking about it in my generation. And today, in 1959, it premiered on TV. And this was also a milestone in the United States because it was the first regularly scheduled TV program presented in color. So interesting stuff. All right, let's see if anybody got this. I see we got a lot of people who were close, but I'm looking for perfection in this section here, okay? Let's see. Let's see. So we've got Kubla taking another stab at it, and Kubla, second time is not a charm. Como va la expresión? The third time's a charm. A la tercera va la vencida. Well, the second time in this case, no. Chris Valrol. Ooh, that third name again. There's that third name. Let's see. Born to Iron Man taking another stab at it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Born to Iron Man. Great job, Born to Iron Man, and all of you. Great effort. It was not easy today, especially that third name. That was a doozy. All right. The names are Lorne Greene. Again, I'm not too familiar with these guys. They were before my time, except for one of them that I think we all know. So Lorne Greene was the first name. Es Lorne, pero no se pronuncia la E. Like, reminds me of the producer of Saturday Night Live. Lorne Michaels. It's not a very common name, but Lorne Michaels. Well, this is Lorne Green. The next one, Pernell Roberts. You can tell that these names, too, are antiquated because nobody I know these days would name their child Lorne or Pernell. Pernell? Come on. Seriously? Pernell, come on in. And, son, it's time for dinner. Come on, Pernell. And get your sister Jasper in here, too. There's my southern twang for you. All right? Pernell Roberts. He sounds like he's right out of the West. The one that everybody had difficulty with was Dan Block. And Block with an E. Esa E es muda. Dan Block. The next one was Michael Landon. Come on, Little House on the Prairie. This guy, he went on to do a lot of stuff that I remember. Michael Landon. Man, he was awesome. Really awesome. Next, Guy Williams. And yeah, I myself was like, wait a second. Guy Williams was on Bonanza? Our Guy Williams from Vaughn Radio? And then I looked him up and I saw that he looked nothing like him. But who knows? Maybe Guy Williams's parents liked this show and they said, we're going to name him after the actor Guy Williams, which is interesting. Guy Williams, kind of a... he's got a mustache. His real name, Armando Joseph Catalano. Yeah. And Argentine. That's how I knew. I'm like, okay, this is not the Guy Williams that I'm talking about here. Our Guy Williams, no offense, Guy Williams, actor. But Vaughn Radio's Guy Williams, he's awesome. He is really awesome. We miss him a lot since he retired. And last but not least, David Canary. And yes, canary is a type of bird, but it's also this man's last name. David Canary. As I said, these are names that probably a lot of these actors, especially if they were old then, well, they didn't really make it into the movies of my generation or the TV shows of my generation, except Michael Landon. And that's because he was quite young when he started doing this show in 1959. All right, amigos. Well, I'll tell you what we've got to do right now. We've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun, amigos. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. I hope you're laughing. And I hope you're ready for more in the second half of today's show. We'll be right back with tons more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. All right, amigos, the show with no name, second half, part 3, or second half, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure you're ready to have some fun and to learn with us. Don't forget, you've got the wonderful, lovely Ximena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. It's right after this program, followed by the lunchtime show with Rob and Andy. You get a bit of banter, cha-cha-da, some banter with Rob and Andy. After that, you got Back to Basics with Tosh Pasqua. And then Jules Linares in Let's Get Random. You've also got The Salad with Dave Boyce and Kyle Miller's Drive Time. You've got Richard, you've got Fitz, you got the Pro Bow Show. These are all shows where you can immerse yourself in English. Even if you're doing other things, you can leave us on in the background, en el fondo. And remember, you can sign up for our courses or just get more information about them at our website. It's grupovaughn.com. And we've got everything from masters to Vaughntown. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. And I can tell you, I'll even tell you my student's name. One of my students in my curious community, Carmen, she went to Vaughntown and she absolutely loved it. She came back to my classes raving, hablando muy bien de, raving about Vaughntown. So if you're interested, give us a call. We'd love to give you more information, or stop by or write us an email, and we can give you information about Vaughntown or any of the many options we offer. But folks, we've got to keep moving along. It's time for Homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
Show with no name. That's right, amigos. It's homophones. And let's see if you're A, familiar with these words, and B, if you know if they sound exactly the same or not. This is an easier section if you compare it to our spelling bee or our say what soundbite, for example. So the first word is an emblem that represents something. An emblem. You say emblema, right? Emblema. Emblem. It's a difficult word to say in English. Emblem, right? It can be a token, una señal, un símbolo. It can also be un signo, un símbolo, like a written character. And what else? Yeah, that's about it. Emblema, señal, símbolo, signo. Okay, that would be the word. In English, it would be emblem, token, or written character. All right. Now, the second word I want you to give me is a part of a drum kit or a drum set. So a drum is one, but the whole thing is called a drum kit or a drum set. Okay. And this is usually used in plural, but let's just say one. Okay. And it's part of the percussion. It's those ones that are made of brass, hojalata, I believe, brass. You call it platillo, little plate, which kind of makes sense. But let's go over them. I don't know too much about percussion, but I know we've got the bass drum, boom, boom, boom. We've got the snare, which is where you do the drum roll. That's the snare drum. You've got the tom-toms. Correct me if I'm wrong here, drummers. You've got the tom-toms. You've got your bass drum. You've got your hi-hat. Esos dos platillos que se pegan, right? Con el pie, you use a pedal, right? And then you've got your you got usually, depends on the drummer and depends on the drum kit, but usually you have two of these up, visible, the highest things you can see on the drum kit. Okay. And all I have to do is give you the dum-dum. It's that sound. It's the that we all know. All right, amigos, there you go. That's your homophone section. Let me also give you the Say What soundbite, although it looks like we might have a winner here after the second listen. Well, let me give it to you, and then we'll check the comments because we've got a bunch of comments from people participating in the sections. Here's your Say What soundbite for the third time.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not.
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. That is the third listen. You're going to hear that one more time in the final part of the show. Let's see some more comments coming in. Anna Gomez. What's up, Anna? She says, great to see you again. You are the best. Oh, thank you, Anna. So kind of you. Que maja. Thank you so much. An absolute pleasure having you back on board with us. Chris Valrol. Hey, better late than never. She's participating in our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard an Afro-American man with a funny thing with colors, as Leo pointed out. He made an important change in his life when he was 16. Great. And Nihad, it looks about right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nihad. I see one little mistake where you put the word sí as ver en vez de mar, right? Makes sense siendo mar por el contexto, right? The sea instead of sí ver. So there's a homophone. Speaking of homophones, let's take a look and see how you guys did on the homophone section. The first person to participate is Kubla, and he says they sound alike. German says they are homophones, so he agrees. Born to Iron Man says they're homophones. Nihad says they're homophones as well. So it's unanimous here, right? You guys are telling me that these words, if I were to say the words out of context, you wouldn't know which word I was saying. Okay, so let me say the words. The first word is symbol. This is a symbol of my love for you, right? Symbol. I think it's pretty easy to say. It's not a difficult word to say. Symbol. Okay? Ahora voy a decir, él tiene un emblema de un platillo en su camiseta. He has a symbol of a symbol on his shirt. Listen carefully. He has a symbol of a symbol on his shirt. Do they sound the same? Absolutely. Excellent. Excellent job, amigos. Symbol and symbol. The good thing about homophones is if you know it once, if you know how to say the word sí ver, well, then you know how to say the word sí el mar. I see the sea. And German gave us a good example. Don't you see the symbols on the symbols? That means they're mine. I like it. Great stuff. Hey, in the end, it's about associating the words. So you don't have to learn another. Oh, ¿cómo se pronuncia esto? Pues igual que el otro, right? If you can remember that, then you'll always be able to pronounce this word correctly. So excellent job. Also, Kubla with the Say What soundbite as well. Excellent job. Wow, guys. We had some trouble in our spelling bee, but we are making up for it now. Amendando, right? We are making up for it now. All right, well, we've got a lot to do, so we're going to go to one of my favorite places, a place where I learned English, just like I tell you to do. It's called the movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And just a quick reminder, you can learn English without even watching the movie. Seriously, I'm dead serious. Just by the title, right? So let's say, for example, let's take a title of a movie such as The Godfather, okay? Everybody knows The Godfather, El Padrino, aunque muchos lo escriben Good Father. No es good, es una O, es God, como Dios. Tu Dios Padre, no tu buen padre, right? So, Godfather, great. Everybody knows it. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Great. And so then how would you say Madrina? Well, that's simple. God, mother. Oh, that's it? Yeah. Well, just change father for mother, and you've got godmother. All right, let's go a step further. Ahijado? This is God's son. So if he's your godfather, you're his godson. If you're female, you're his goddaughter. So from that one word, godfather, we've taken 4 words, right? That's a little trick there. Another one with double meaning. Good Will Hunting. You say el indomable Will Hunting, right? Is that what you call it? In English, it makes sense on 2 different levels. So good Will Hunting. He's a good boy, that Will Hunting. Will Hunting is como se llama, right? He's a really, really good guy. He's good Will Hunting, right? And also good Will Hunting en busca de la bondad, de los buenos hechos. He's hunting goodwill. So really, really interesting. A lot of movies in English, movies, series, sitcoms, if you remember Family Matters with Steve Urkel. That's got a double meaning too. Family Matters, asuntos de familia. Family Matters, la familia es importante, importa. So you got that double meaning. So always don't overlook the titles is what I would say. All right? And now this movie is, and I will say this right now, because I say this all the time. I always say this is one of my favorite movies ever. This is my favorite movie ever. You want to see? Let's test you guys before I even give it to you. What's my favorite movie ever? I know it's tough, but I decided the other day that this is it. Why? I watched it with my daughter. I watched this movie with my daughter and my wife. And my wife and I enjoyed it like it was the first time we watched it. And it from a long time ago. So I'm giving you some clues. It's a movie that my daughter can watch at 4 years old. It's not one of my favorite movies. Recently decided it's my favorite movie. And why? Because it hasn't lost anything throughout the years. Some movies, when you watch them, you're like, Oh man, this sucks years later. Look at this. This is still an amazing adventure. And my daughter loves it. It just proved to me that not only is this movie still satisfying and entertaining to me, but for my daughter, generations later, saying, oh, look at this. This is funny. This is great. You know? German says, your favorite movie is Cinema Paradiso. Just guessing. Nope. Too serious for me. I'm more of an Adam Sandler kind of guy. Although he makes serious movies these days as well. But no, it's not a foreign film, because we would call that a foreign film where I come from, right? It's a movie that was made in the United States. I can give you the year it came out. It came out in 1985. Okay? Let me give you the trailer, but then you're definitely going to know it. I just wanted to see how well you guys know me. Chris, you are so close. Chris said Back to the Future, and that's my other favorite movie. If I had to choose two, if I only had to choose one, I'm going to go with this one. The one I said, the one we're going to look at. But this is right there, Chris. So you know me very well. Back to the Future is definitely in my top 3. Without a shadow of a doubt. Sin atisbo de duda. So, Chris, you're right there. You got it. An amazing thing, same year. Creo que salió el mismo año. Let me see this. Talk about an amazing year for movies. Let's see. It came out in 80, same year. What a year for movies. Oh, my God. My 2 favorite movies came out in the year 1985. All right. Anybody going once? Going twice? Maybe I can give you a musical clue. Good love is good enough. Good love is good enough. It's good enough for me. I tried. I can't sing it like the original singer. Good love is good love. Good love is good enough. Good enough for me. Anybody? Come on. If you don't know it now, you're never going to know it. All right, let me give you the trailer. A group of young misfits called, I'm not going to tell you their names. Hombre, más pistas imposible ya. A group of young misfits que no encajan. They don't fit in. They're misfits, right? Chris Valrol, you got it. You nailed it. You got me. You know me well. The Goonies. Guys, it's still awesome. Like, you watch it and you're still like, run from the Fratellis. And my daughter loved it. She's like, One-Eyed Willie. El tuerto, you say. We call him One-Eyed Willie. And she was, the first week that she watched it, she was calling me Sloth. Me llamaba mi Sloth. I'm like, are you saying I'm ugly? And she kept telling me, she's like, where are the Fratellis? Los malos se llaman the Fratellis. So she loves it. She loves the Goonies. And my wife and I enjoyed it like it was 1985 again. So if you want to watch a classic that makes you just love movies, made you realize why movies would take you on an adventure. You would go into a movie theater for 90 minutes or 2 hours, and you would leave that place. And that was one of those movies. It took you to another place, and it was fun. It didn't take itself too seriously. The jokes are timeless. It really still holds up, como decimos. So a group of young misfits called the Goonies discover an ancient map, and they set out on an adventure to find a legendary pirate's long-lost treasure. And I think they leave out the most important part. In order to save their homes/childhood, right? I mean, the whole reason they want to get the rich stuff, as they call it, is because they're losing their houses, right? The bank is taking away their houses. They're foreclosing on their homes, and they're all going to be split up, and they're not going to see each other. They're not going to go to the same school. So I think that's such an awesome, inciting incident. We're losing our homes. If we don't do something by tomorrow, everything's going to be different. Well, this will never be the same again. Goodbye to innocence. Goodbye. I mean, it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it. So these kids got to go out there and against all odds, contra todo pronóstico, try and save their homes. And if you think about that, that's kind of cool. You know, they love their parents and their friends so much that they're going to go out there and put their life in limb. And limb is another way of saying in danger in order to save their childhood. Because what is your house? Well, it symbolizes, a symbol, it symbolizes your childhood, your youth, right? So let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen from The Goonies. I love this movie. I'm telling you, it's still good. And this is a scene between Chunk. Chunk is el gordo. You call him Gordy. We call him Chunk. Chunk is un tropezón de algo, a big piece of something. Chunk and the Fratellis. The Fratellis, again, being the bad guys. And Francis Fratelli grabs Chunk by the throat. La garra de la garganta. And he says, hey, kid, I want you to spill your guts. Ahora, to spill your guts, derramar tus tripas, no, literal, pero spill your guts es cuéntanos todo. Okay, no te cortes, todo. I want you to spill your guts. Tell us everything. And Chunk says, everything? Todo? And Francis Fratelli says, everything. And so Chunk, sobbing is another way of saying crying, says, everything? Okay. I'll talk. In third grade, en el tercer curso, I cheated on my history exam. Hice trampa en mi examen de historia. In fourth grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee. Su toupee, lo que lleva en la cabeza. His wig. And I glued it on my face. Y me lo, con pegamento, me lo pegué a la cara. I glued it on my face when I played Moses in my Hebrew school play. Cuando hice de Moisés en la obra de mi colegio de hebreo. Okay? In fifth grade, I knocked my sister Edie down the stairs. Le tiré por las escaleras. And I blamed it on the dog. And then my mom sent me to this summer camp for fat kids. And then they served lunch. And I got nuts and I pigged out. And they kicked me out. Y me echaron. I got nuts, me volví loco. I pigged out, comí mucho. And they kicked me out. Me echaron. And then Chunk says, but the worst thing I've ever done is I mixed up all this fake puke at home. Mezclé todo este vómitos. Puke. This fake puke at home. And then I went to this movie theater and I hid the puke in my jacket. Hide, hid, hidden. Esconder. I hid the puke in my jacket. I climbed up to the balcony and then I made a noise like this. Huh! 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 And then I dumped it over the side. Lo tiré por el lateral. All over the people in the audience. And then, this was horrible. All the people started getting sick and throwing up all over each other. And I never felt so bad in my entire life. And Jake Fratelli says, I'm beginning to like this kid, Ma. Me está empezando a caer bien, Mama. And then Mama Fratelli, who doesn't have as much patience, says, hit puree. They have a blender. Remember, they're going to put his hand in a blender. Un triturar. And puree is puree, un puree. Puree, we say. Hit puree. And then Francis turns on the blender. And he goes, no, I'm too young. Soy demasiado joven. And the Fratellis grab his arms. And he goes, no, I want to play the violin, not my hand, please. So there you go, guys. Classic scene where they tell him, we want you to tell us everything. And he literally tells them everything. A lot of interesting things, too, about this movie. If you haven't seen the outtakes, no, there's actually a making of. You can find it on YouTube. And it's really interesting because what happened was after they wrapped, cuando acabaron la película, after they wrapped, what happened was Chris Columbus, the director, not Cristobal Colon, that's Christopher Columbus. Chris Columbus decided, no, was it Chris Columbus? No, yeah, I think, was it? No. Richard Donner, perdona, me he equivocado. Richard Donner, Chris Columbus is Home Alone. Richard Donner, the director, went on vacation after, and he's like, I need a vacation away from these kids, lejos de estos niños. I need to get far away from them. And what happened? Well, Steven Spielberg thought it would be a good idea to pay for the kids, to pay for a trip for the kids to join Richard Donner on vacation. And there's a video, an amateur home video of Richard Donner sitting there in some tropical paradise, and the kids from the Goonies come running in, and he's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, I thought I got away from you. All right, amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4. Oh, my God. Part 4 of today's show with no name. All right, amigos, welcome back to part 4. Remember, you got amazing programs. Once this show's over, you got great shows all day long here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, educational, informative, ever-changing, encouraging, enthralling. I'm running out of ideas here. Well, what more do you want from an English radio station like Vaughn Radio? And just a quick reminder, you've got our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, a great way to put your English to practice. You can practice with all your amigos and your teachers on October 4th as Kyle Miller hosts another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid. And I'll be hosting on November 1st. So you better mark your calendars now. October 4th, Kyle Miller hosts. November 1st, I'm hosting. You better come. Más te vale venir. You'd better come, amigos. All right, well, let's kick off the last part of the show with Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is.
Give it up.
Double,
What?
double trouble.
Huh?
I said double, double trouble. Double, double trouble. I said double, double trouble.
That's right, amigos. Double trouble. Oh, and another Goonies fun fact. Josh Brolin, does that name ring a bell? Thanos from the X-Men. You know Thanos? Not from X-Men. You know the one I'm talking about. The Endgame, all of these. That's the older brother. If you watch, my wife was like, what? I'm like, look at his face. And then look at Thanos. And she's like, that's him. I'm like, yeah. In fact, I think if you had to say the person from the Goonies, the kid from the Goonies who got the most famous after was Josh Brolin, and he's still famous to this day. He's a really good actor. But if you notice it, look at the older brother in the Goonies. So Mikey's brother, the one who takes the little kid's bike because he's got to go find his brother now. And you'll be like, wait a second, that's Thanos when he was like a little kid. Yeah, it's true. My wife was like, no way. I'm like, way. All right, here's today's Double Trouble. And this one came to me when I was watching Bugs Bunny with my daughter. That's right. I was watching Bugs Bunny, who goes, "Nah, what's up, Doc? Nah, what's up, Doc? You're a little stinker. You're a stinker." All right, well, this is something that Bugs Bunny said, and my daughter misheard. So I decided, let's make this a Double Trouble. Es una pena que estaba de mal humor. Él. So, es una pena que él estaba de mal humor. That's today's Double Trouble. You have to use the same word twice in that translation. Es una pena que estaba de mal humor. Also, I'm going to give you today's Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. Please listen carefully and write down what you hear.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. Mm-hmm. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your last listen of today's Say What soundbite. All right, we've also got my buddy Dan Feist from Break Bad English in the house. What's up? And also from Crack Comedy, which, by the way, you guys should follow them. Crack Comedy, just like it sounds. And you can go check out comedy in English in Madrid. And they bring in some world-class comedians from New York, from England, from Scotland, wherever. So check it out. It's Crack Comedy, and it's a really wonderful initiative for anybody who likes comedy or wants to learn English and mingle with some people. And Dan says, what's up, Double A? That's a hell of a es bastante, wow, es bastante chula, tiene, right? So it's a hell of a neon light you got there. Thank you. I don't think it's real neon. I think it's LED lights or something. But it's got a dimmer. What is a dimmer? Well, I know you know, Dan, but I have to explain it to the listeners. To dim is to make it darker. So if you have a dimmer, you can really make the light exactly how you want it. A little darker, a little lighter. It's called a dimmer. And if you're feeling romantic, well, you can dim the lights. Oh, yeah. It's also a verb, to dim. All right. And Dan says, thanks for the shout out. My pleasure, buddy. I'm looking forward to going to see you myself if I can get out of daddy duty. Or maybe I'll bring my daughter along. She loves cracking jokes, which is a great name, by the way, for the comedy. Crack, porque son cracks. And also because they crack you up. Te partes con ellos. They crack you up. All right, let's see. Kubla's taking a stab at today's Double Trouble over here. And he says, it's too bad he was in a bad mood. Is that right? Yes. Absolutely. And I'll tell you the Bugs Bunny thing. So Bugs Bunny speaks with like a Brooklyn or like a Bronx kind of accent. It's too bad. You're a little stinker guy. You know, he's Bugs Bunny in English has got like a Bronx or a Brooklyn, like a New York kind of thing going on. And what's up, Doc? You know, very, very New Yorky. And so he was saying in one of the sketches, in one of the cartoons, he kept repeating, too bad, too bad, too bad, too bad. Qué pena, qué pena. Too bad, too bad. And my daughter said, is he saying chupe? Like chupete, chupe, too bad, chupe. That's what she was hearing, chupe, like chupete. And I was like, no, he's saying too bad, but it's with like a New York accent. So I thought it was very funny. And then I thought, oh, wait, too bad, demasiado malo. But that's okay. It's more commonly used as qué pena, qué lástima. It's too bad you couldn't come to the party yesterday. De hecho, hasta eliminamos el it's. Too bad you couldn't make it yesterday, right? Too bad. You can say it's a shame. It's a shame you couldn't make it. But we use that quite often. It's too bad. It's too bad. Too bad you couldn't make it to the party yesterday. It's a pity. I don't use that one. That one seems too dramatic to me. The only problem is if you're going to use pity, just be careful. I've seen a lot of students double up on that T, and pity only has one T. Okay, so what a pity, what a shame. That's too bad. So it's too bad he was in a bad mood. Excellent job, Kubla. It seemed easy, but I've never heard my students naturally say, it's too bad I missed the class the other day. Right? So I've never heard non-natives use this structure, but we use it all the time. And also, I was a little bit concerned with that preposition, right? To be in a bad mood, to be on a bad mood. So you nailed it, Kubla. Excellent job in today's Double Trouble. You guys are all doing a wonderful job. So I'm going to reward you with some of my favorite dad jokes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking, where we learn English with a little humor over here. And hopefully you guys will get these jokes. If not, I will explain them, as they are usually puns, juegos de palabras. So the first one, my daughter, speaking of my daughter, she told me that when she's older, she wanted to date a soccer player. And yeah, she said, Papi, not true, by the way. I'm making this up, by the way. She's too young. Too young to think about boys. But I'm making it up, okay, for the sake of the story. So yeah, my daughter, the other day, she told me she wanted to date a soccer player, you know. So I told her, look for the least active player on the field. He's a keeper. Yeah. No. He's a keeper. Look for the least active player on the field. He's a keeper. I think it's hysterical, personally. I mean, this is a typical dad joke. We call them dad jokes. Clean jokes, we call dad jokes. Corny jokes, we call dad jokes. Because if you're a dad, you're not supposed to be telling dirty jokes, right? At least not when your kids are young. So you get it? A keeper, a goalkeeper. Hey, keeper. It's another way of saying guardameta, portero. But also, if somebody is a keeper, es un braguetazo. Es un para quedártelo, ¿no? Para casarte con él. Es uno que vale, you would say in Spanish. Oh, man, your girlfriend is so sweet. She's a keeper. Es para casarte con ella. Es para formalizarlo. Para, ¿no? Quedarte ahí. So you get it? Well, no, Chris Valron says a keeper es una cuidadora. Well, that would be a housekeeper, more specifically. We have a housekeeper. We have a zookeeper, el que está en el zoo, right? But a keeper is somebody you don't want to let go, right? She's a keeper. Esta vale. No, eso es una forma de decir. Esta sí que vale. She's a keeper. So my daughter told me she wanted to date a soccer player. I told her, look for the least active player on the field. He's a keeper. El que menos se mueve es el portero. Okay, all right. Anyway, my daughter's birthday today. I got a balloon elephant. You know, it's pretty typical. You get an elephant. Remember, we blow up balloons. Okay, we don't blow them. We blow them up. We blow out candles. See, changes there. And we blow people. Well, I've never, but some people blow people. And I'll let you look that one up on your own. It has to do with oral sex, though. Anyway, let's move on. So my balloon elephant wouldn't fit in the back seat of my car. Yeah, I wanted to throw it in the back there. So, yeah, it's a balloon elephant that I bought for my daughter's birthday today. and it wouldn't fit in the back seat. So I had to pop the trunk. No, I had to pop the trunk. Yeah. All right. It's a balloon. You pop it. The trunk is the part of the elephant where they grab things and they spit the water. Trompa, I think you say. The trunk. All right. But where's the joke there? I had to pop the trunk. Well, literally on the balloon, I had to la parte esa del elefante, la trompa. But also to pop the trunk is another way of saying abre el maletero. Porque le das con el botón y hace pop. So can you pop the trunk? I'm gonna put this in the trunk. It doesn't fit in the back seat. Could you pop the trunk? It's a very, very native one. Dan, I know you've probably said that. Pop the trunk. My wife always laughs when I say, I'm going to jump in the shower. She goes, don't jump. Slippery. I'm like, well, it means I'm going to take a quick shower. It doesn't mean I'm going to be in there for hours. I'm going to jump in the shower. These are very native, totally native ways of saying things. I'm going to pop the trunk. So you get it? I had to pop the trunk. Tuve que abrir el maletero. Tuve que reventar la trompa. Okay, all right. Let me tell you about my doctor, though. Recently, I met the doctor, right? And typical, I go for my checkups, my yearly checkups. You say revisión, checkup. And my doctor advised me to cut down on my sodium intake. As many of you know, I do suffer from padecerte. I suffer from hypertension. Okay, bad diet, stress. I'm changing all that stuff. But so yeah, my doctor advised me to cut down on my sodium intake. And I took his advice with a pinch of salt. No. Guys, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think these are actually... Dan, are you finding these funny? I think they're funny jokes today. Pop the trunk. Okay, so to take something with a pinch of salt, there's got to be a secondary meaning over there, doesn't there? I mean, if not, there's no joke here, right? All right. So I guess we should look at the literal expression to put a pinch of salt in your food, right? Okay, and when you're about to serve the salad, add a pinch of salt, right? A pinch of salt. You say let's see how you say. You say una pizca, same thing, una pizca de sal. But also, if you take something with a pinch of salt or a grain of salt, you can say either one. It means that you shouldn't take it too seriously. It means it's unverified. It means that it's maybe misleading, right? Be skeptical. It means I wouldn't listen to him. I would take whatever he says with a pinch of salt, as Dan says, and it says here, coger con pinzas, right? No tomarlo muy not for its face value, as we say in English. So it means not to trust. It means to be skeptical, to take something with a pinch or a grain of salt. So you get it now? All right. Fine. We'll move on. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is famous birthdays on the show with no name, and we'll see if you guys know who our famous birthday boys and girls are. The first person was born in 1952 today. So these people share a birthday with my lovely daughter, Lara. Yeah! Let's hear it again. By the way, it's one happy birthday if you want to make one of these. It's a personalized birthday greeting. Free.
Happy birthday
Lara, happy, happy birthday. Sing it. Happy birthday, Lara, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Lara, happy, happy B-Day.
Happy birthday, Laura. Oh, yeah.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Laura.
Yeah, come on.
My dog
Says ooh, ooh.
to you, Laura.
My dog says
Laura,
happy birthday.
birthday, Laura.
Go,
Happy
shorty.
birthday,
Go,
happy
shorty.
birthday, Laura. Feliz
Cumpleaños, Lara. Yeah. It's one happy birthday, te lo digo. You want to make somebody's day on their birthday? You can choose the name over there. And then I remember one of my students sent it to me, and I'm like, I absolutely love this. All right, number one in today's famous birthdays, born in 1952, a Canadian drummer, songwriter, and producer. We were talking about the drums before. We identified most of the different drums in a drum kit, the ones I knew at least. And yes, a Canadian drummer from the famous group Rush. I love this group. They are awesome. Rush. You know Rush? And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start. They've got song after song, hit after hit. Tom Sawyer, Closer to the Heart, The Spirit of Radio, and so many others. If you're not familiar with Rush and you call yourself a rocker, you got to go back and listen to their whole collection. But no rush. All right. Well, that's the drummer, songwriter, and producer of the group Rush. Number two, this is an American actor, Italian-American actor. He was in Risky Business. He was in The Goonies, today's Name That Movie, La Bamba, Memento, Bad Boys. He's been in so many movies. And I love the guy. In the States, they call him Pants. His last name, they call him his first name, Pants. And there's a reason for it. His last name is not Pants, at least not in English. All right, I'm moving on because I think I gave you a clue there, a huge clue. And last but not least, this is an African-American singer who was the king of that soul and that music. If you wanted to get down, you know what that means, right? Do I have to translate that? If you wanted to get down, well, then you got to put on this guy's music because just his soothing voice, baby, can't get enough of your love, baby. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Please give it up for Chris Valrol. Happy birthday to Lara, Neil Peart, Joey Pants. Le llaman Joey Pants. It's Joe Pantoliano. He's an Italian, so they call him Joey Pants in La Industria, Joey Pants. And last but not least, Barry White, baby. Good joke that you made there, Leo. He goes, he's black, but white. Nice job. Nice job. And that'll bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. This is Barry White, and he goes, I made up my mind. So we got to turn it into a song if I put a beat. I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet. Every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, el mar, whether the fish can live or not. And this was him, Barry White, realizing the power that we had as humans. All right, let's listen to birthday boy Barry White.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not.
All right, there you go, folks. And it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name. show with no name. It's been a leg only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos, and that's for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your energy, all your effort, and all your beautiful birthday wishes to my daughter. I will definitely pass them on. Oh, and while we're there, let me look at a common mistake. A lot of people said, happy birthday for your daughter. And I said, nope. I said, how does the song go? Happy birthday to you. Entonces, ¿cómo se dice? Happy birthday to your daughter. Yo sé que en español, por, you're like, oh, es un for. No, como la canción. Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to my lovely Lara. And thank you for celebrating it with me here. And who knows, maybe when she's older, she'll even watch this show and be like, Dad, you embarrassed me in front of everybody. I can't believe you played those audio clips of me. All right, well, folks, thank you, thank you, thank you, and wonderful job. Remember to stay tuned, because up next you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. And the song we're going to look at to say goodbye is Rush, Spirit of Radio. And it is a beautiful song. If you're not familiar with the band Rush, listen to Closer to the Heart, listen to Tom Sawyer, just listen to their greatest hits and just get ready to enjoy every second. And obviously, Spirit of Radio. He says, begin the day with a friendly voice. Sound familiar? A companion, unobtrusive, plays that song that's so elusive. And the magic music makes your morning mood. Off on your way de camino, you hit the open road. Llegas a la carretera abierta. For the spirits ever lingers, and to linger. Oh, no, I skipped a line. I said, that doesn't rhyme. There's a magic at your fingers, for the spirits ever lingers. And you know that one? Do you have to let it linger? The Cranberries. But we're not looking at the Cranberries today, folks. This is today's Name That Lyric, Rush, with the Spirit of Radio. Thank you so much for being here today and every day, amigos. You rock.